Stop for a moment. Do not scroll away from me. Look at my face right now. I need your absolute attention because this specific moment is holy. You did not stumble across this video by random chance in a sea of digital noise. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your eyes to these exact words today. Something just shifted in the unseen realm because an urgent season is beginning for your life. The time has finally come. I need to tell you everything that has been kept sealed for your protection. Give me just 1 minute of your time, and I promise you will not regret staying here. If you rush past this warning, you may miss the very breakthrough I placed in your path. Breathe deeply and stay right here with me. Let the noise of the world fade away from your mind. I am stepping into your atmosphere with a very holy purpose today. Your spirit has been sensing this massive shift for days, but you could not name it. You are not behind in your destiny. You are exactly where you need to be. Listen to me in the deepest place of your heart. I am about to open the doors that were locked tightly against your life. Come closer, my beloved child. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired. I know how heavy the weight has been lately. You have been carrying so many silent battles without telling a single soul around you. You smile beautifully for others, and you pretend you are perfectly strong. But inside, you are quietly breaking into 1,000 small pieces. I saw you when you cried softly into the absolute darkness of the night. I watched the tears fall down your face before you could quickly wipe them away. You hoped the silence of the room would swallow your deep sorrow before anyone noticed. You sat on the edge of your bed, and your chest felt so tight, you wondered if I still heard the broken fragments of your prayers. You are a silent survivor in a world that only praises loud success. You have poured your pure heart into hands that did not know how to hold it. People have taken your kindness, and they returned it with painful disappointment. You asked me why your love is constantly met with such cold rejection, and you felt so incredibly alone, even in a room full of laughing people. Your shoulders are always tight. Your eyes are constantly heavy, with a tiredness that sleep cannot fix. You have become the strong pillar for everyone else in your life. They lean on you when they are broken, and you always hold them up. But when you are the one who is breaking, no one asks if you need a hand. You carry the heavy bags of their worries, while your own soul is starving for rest. I know the secret thoughts you think when you are driving alone. You look at the road, and you wonder how much longer you can keep fighting this battle. You have done everything right, and you have stayed faithful in the dark valleys. Yet, you see others receive the very blessings you have begged me for during many years. You secretly feel like you arrived late to your own destiny, and doubt whispers that you are forgotten. You have tried everything within your human power to find a lasting way out. You prayed intensely, and you read holy books, and you forced your mind to think positive thoughts. Each attempt gave you a brief moment of relief, but the heavy fog always returned. Now, you feel slightly embarrassed to try one more time because your hope has grown so quiet. You are terrified of being disappointed again, so you keep your expectations very low. But hear me with the deepest part of your wounded spirit today. Your exhaustion is not a sign of failure or a lack of holy faith. You are a weary warrior who has been fighting in the trenches for far too long. The enemy targeted your mind because he knows the immense value of the light inside you. The heavy static in your thoughts was engineered to drown out the clear sound of my voice. Let your tired mind rest for just 1 moment right now. You do not have to perform for me, and you do not have to pretend you are strong. I love you in your brokenness, and I am close to your crushed spirit. The delay that tormented your soul was never a sign of my holy rejection. I was shielding your life from hidden traps that your human eyes could not see. Something is shifting in the unseen realm at this very second. The heavy atmosphere around your life is beginning to break apart under my command. I am opening a new window of heaven to pour down the answers you thought were lost. Do not look back at the years you believe were entirely wasted in the desert. Those quiet years were the holy forge where I shaped your beautiful character. You have been standing still in a thick fog of deep uncertainty for months. Every step forward felt so heavy, and every open path seemed to close abruptly. You questioned your own worth, and you wondered if my promises had somehow expired. But I am telling you that the preparation season is finally coming to an end. The door you have been waiting outside of is trembling right now. Listen closely to the rhythm of my words in this quiet space. I am not a distant judge who is counting your many mistakes or checking your flaws. I am your loving Father, and I am stepping into your storm to bring absolute clarity. The noise that confused your mind is about to be silenced by my powerful hand. You are about to understand every single detail of the long delay. Breathe deeply, my child. Let your heart release the fear of tomorrow because I am already standing there. I have walked through your future, and I have prepared the provision you will need. The battles you fought in secret have given you a divine authority that the comfortable do not possess. You are rising from the dust of your past, and your truest season is beginning now. I saw you in the bathroom when you thought the sound of the running water would cover the sound of your crying. You pressed your face into a soft towel so no one would hear your pain. You felt so guilty for feeling weak, because you are supposed to be the faithful one. The enemy whispered that your pain was proof of your sin, but that was a dirty lie. I was standing right next to the sink, and I counted every single tear that fell. You have been isolated in a crowd of well-meaning friends for a very long time. They see your success, and they see your bright smile, but they do not see your bleeding heart. They ask for your prayers, and they ask for your advice, but they never ask about your wounds. You have poured your oil into their lamps until your own vessel was completely empty. You sit in the dark, wondering who will pour oil into your lamp when you cannot shine anymore. I know how many times you wanted to throw your hands up and surrender to the fatigue. You looked at the broken pieces of your relationships, and you saw the financial doors slam shut. It felt like you were walking up a steep mountain against a violent wind that never stops. Your feet are sore, and your hands are trembling, and your mind is screaming for a place to hide. I am that hiding place for you today. Look at me, my beloved child. The time of carrying these heavy bags on your own empty strength is over. I am stripping away the heavy garments of your anxiety, and I am giving you a garment of pure praise. You are not a random fragment of creation that I tossed into the wind. You are a work that I have carefully formed with my own holy hands. Even when you cannot feel your immense worth, it does not disappear. A precious jewel that is covered in thick dust is still incredibly valuable to the Master. I am wiping away the dust of the world, and I am clearing the static from your soul. The restless stirring you feel in your chest right now is your spirit awakening to my nearness. It is not confusion, and it is not panic. It is your soul recognizing the voice of the one who created your very heartbeat. Breathe deeply, my child. The urgency of stopping you was so I could hold your heart for a moment. Good. You stayed with me. Now let me reveal the exact reason why this long delay happened, and how the enemy noise has blocked what I prepared for you. I need you to step deeper into this quiet sanctuary with me now. Let us speak honestly about the dark shadow that has been hanging over your spirit for many months. You feel completely isolated, even when your loved ones are sitting right next to you. They see your outer shell, but they do not see the crushing weight inside your chest. You feel like a ghost walking through your own life. This deep isolation is the heaviest trial a chosen soul can ever endure. You look at your friends, and you see their easy paths, and you wonder why your road must be so uniquely brutal. You ask yourself if you committed some hidden sin that caused this terrible desert. But I want to tell you that your pain is not a cosmic punishment from my hand. I see how hard you try to hold back the tears when the sudden sadness hits your heart during the day. You are washing the dishes, or you are driving to work, and a sudden wave of complete hopelessness washes over your mind. You feel a tight knot in your stomach that never goes away no matter how much you pray. You whisper my name in a broken voice, but the air feels completely cold and empty. You have asked me why the brass ceiling above your head will not break open. You have spent countless hours searching your memory for past mistakes, and you wonder if your faults have permanently disqualified your life from my grace. The enemy whispers that you are a failure, and your mind repeats that cruel lie until your faith feels like a dying spark. But I am guarding that tiny spark with my own breath. Let us sit together in this silent space where you do not have to wear your heavy armor anymore. I saw you when you collapsed on the living room floor because the bad news came rushing in. You felt like the earth was sliding away from beneath your feet, and you could not breathe because the panic was so violent. You thought you were totally alone in that dark hour, but I was kneeling right beside you. I was holding your fragile spirit together when you felt yourself shattering into pieces. I watched you force your trembling legs to stand up because you had to take care of your children. You put on your brave face for the world, and you went back out into the storm while your inner soul was bleeding silently. I have recorded every step of your hidden faithfulness in my book. But my child, you were never designed to carry the heavy gales of an entire family on your own empty strength. You have allowed yourself to become a landfill for everyone else's anxieties, while your own dreams are buried under their heavy demands. You give your precious oil away to light up their dark rooms, leaving your own lamp completely dry and cold in the midnight hour. I know the deepest pain of being completely misunderstood by the people who should protect your heart. You have sowed your sincere love into relationships that only left you feeling discarded and used. You have been a faithful giver, but they only saw you as a convenient source of help. They love what you can do for them, but they do not truly love the beautiful soul that you are. You look at the empty spaces in your bank account, and you feel a terrible terror about your future security. You have worked with absolute honesty, yet the financial breakthrough feels like a cruel mirage. You see the wicked prosper while your own honest hands are completely empty at the end of the month, and doubt asks if my justice is real. This is the deepest trudge of your spiritual valley where the silence feels like absolute abandonment. You look up at the stars, and you ask if I am even listening to the long list of your urgent requests. You feel like a forgotten soldier left behind on a bloody battlefield after the great army has moved on. But listen to my whisper in this moment, because I am about to change your entire reality. I have never left your side for a single millisecond of your long suffering. I was there in the quiet hospital room, and I was there when the bank sent the final warning, and I was there when your heart broke into pieces. My promise to you is an unshakable covenant, and my hand has been covering your fragile heart to keep you alive through the fire. Even when your spirit felt completely cold, my infinite warmth was surrounding your life. I allowed the earthly doors to slam shut because I saw the ravenous wolves waiting for you on the other side. You wept bitter tears over the rejection, but you did not see the holy protection that my hand was executing for your future. I was saving your life from a trap that would have destroyed your destiny. Now, your weary soul is ready to receive the true comfort that I have prepared for your transformation. You have reached the absolute end of your own human strength, and that is exactly where my supernatural power begins to move. You no longer have to strive, and you no longer have to beg for my attention because you are already my chosen child. I am opening the windows of heaven to give you rest, to help you receive what I have already prepared. I need you to hear this deep truth. The silence you have experienced is not my holy absence. The enemy has been filling the space between us with a mountain of heavy noise, a static so constant that my voice and my provision have been invisible to you even when they were right there on your path. I have not abandoned your life. I have been preparing your great breakthrough in secret, and I have guided someone to bring you a beautiful instrument of restoration today. I will show you exactly what it is before this message ends. But first, you need to understand what was done to block it, and you must see why it can be undone completely. Your mind has been trained by the world to survive through constant worry and heavy grinding. You wake up in the morning, and the heavy anxiety is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You instantly begin running through every bad scenario, trying to protect yourself from future pain. This constant alertness has worn down the sacred channel through which you receive my clear directives. You have become so accustomed to the static of the world that pure peace feels strange to your soul. You are always waiting for the next disaster to strike your life because you have been burned so many times before. You guard your heart with walls of fear, thinking that your vigilance will keep you safe from betrayal. But those thick walls are also keeping my heavy streams of blessings from flowing inside your spirit. I want to tear down those invisible walls of fear today without causing your fragile heart any pain. I am not asking you to build up more religious discipline or to fast for many days to gain my favor. I am simply asking you to surrender the heavy control that is breaking your back. Let go of the steering wheel of your life and trust that my hands are strong enough to guide you through the darkness. Think about the heavy bags of regret you are still carrying from the mistakes of your past years. You constantly look backward, wishing you had made different choices in your relationships and your finances. You blame yourself for the lost time, and the enemy uses that regret to convince your soul that you are permanently damaged goods. But my grace has already blotted out every single failure from your ledger. I am creating an entirely new foundation beneath your feet at this very moment. The old structure had to collapse because it was built on a foundation of human effort and worldly approval. I am stripping away the false props you depended on so you can discover the unshakable power of my divine presence. This painful stripping is not a destruction of your life, but a holy preparation for your true destiny. You are my light bearer in a generation that is drowning in deep darkness and confusion. The adversary targets your mind because he is absolutely terrified of the magnificent purpose I have placed inside you. He wants to keep your soul trapped in a cycle of survival, so you can never step into your true role as a leader. But his authority over your life is being stripped away by my word today. Stay with me in this quiet atmosphere for a little while longer, because we are about to enter a deeper revelation. I am going to take you back into the ancient records of my faithful servants to show you your own reflection. You will see that the longest silences in history were always the prelude to the greatest miracles. Let your heart settle into a state of quiet expectancy right now. The chains that have bound your family for generations are beginning to tremble at the sound of my voice. Do not let any distraction steal this moment from your spirit, because the next truth I unlock will set you free. Pause right here, breathe deeply once more, and let my holy peace saturate the deepest layers of your soul. We are moving into the light together, and your transformation is close. I made a sacred promise to a man who could not see how it was possible. His body was very tired. His wife Sarah had given up hope long ago. They had done everything they could do in their own power, and they had even tried to help me fulfill the dream because they believed the time had already run out on their lives. But the magnificent promise was mine to fulfill, and it did not depend on their human strength. You are walking in the exact same footsteps today. You belong to the special profile of my children who have tried everything. You have knocked on every earthly door looking for answers. You read all the books, and you attended all the lectures, and you forced your weary mind to repeat beautiful phrases of affirmation. Each method gave you a brief flash of relief, but the heavy darkness always returned to your room. You feel deeply embarrassed to try one more time because your hope has become a silent whisper. You look at your life, and you wonder why my word seems delayed for you. You see others step into their blessings easily, while your own hands remain completely bare. But hear me with the deepest part of your soul. The season you have stopped believing in has not expired. The dream that feels completely impossible today is the very dream I chose for your life. I chose it because only my hand can bring it to pass. You cannot rush my divine timing with your frantic striving. You cannot manipulate the heavens with your human worry. But you can learn to trust my heart in the midst of this heavy silence. Pause where you are right now. Let your racing thoughts go quiet for a brief moment. I need you to make a sacred move of agreement with my voice. Like this video, as a sign that you are listening. Turn on the notification bell to stay connected to my daily guidance. And write the phrase, "I trust your timing," in the comments below to seal your covenant of patience with me today. Good, you took the step. Now let me pull back the heavy curtain to show you what is actually happening inside your mind. I hear the silent questions you whisper when the house is dark. You look at the broken pieces of your past, and you wonder why your soul feels so stuck. You have started to believe that you are a failure because the fog will not lift. I have watched you lie awake at 3 in the morning running through your thoughts. You replay every single conversation you had during the day. You search frantically for the one thing you might have said wrong to someone. You accomplish something good, but you feel absolutely nothing inside your heart because your eyes go straight to what is still undone. Your chest tightens, and you carry an invisible pressure. You have called this behavior being a perfectionist. You told yourself that you simply have high standards for your work. You believe that you must criticize yourself harshly to stay motivated. But that is not the truth, and I will not let you keep carrying that heavy lie any longer. It is not your character, and it is not your true nature. Here is the secret mechanism that is truly happening beneath your thoughts. Long ago, somewhere in the early chapters of your story, you learned a dangerous lesson. You learned that love had to be earned through constant performance. You believed that you were only safe when you were useful to everyone around you. You felt worthy only when you were achieving massive goals. I call this deep condition the earning wound. It is a painful scar from a moment you may not even remember clearly. The world trained your mind to survive by becoming an endless producer. You forgot how to receive freely because you became addicted to earning your place. You brought this exact same wound into your relationship with me, and you are trying to earn my grace. So let me rewrite the history of your long suffering right now. All those quiet years you thought you were lazy when you rested were not wasted years. You were actually fighting a deep lie that told you rest had to be earned. All those times you could not receive a genuine compliment from a friend, you were not being humble. You were simply guarding a hidden wound from being touched. Your valley was not a house of punishment, but it was a holy preparation room. The closed doors were not my rejection, but they were my absolute protection from traps. I was not ignoring your broken prayers during the midnight hour. I was actually cutting away the false dependencies that would have crushed your future destiny. You were never falling behind, but you were being made ready. So today, I am taking that heavy lie away from your spirit. The next time you finish a hard day and feel that familiar emptiness, I want you to stop. Place your trembling hand over your heart right now. Hear my voice whisper into your deep soul. You were completely loved before you ever achieved a single thing. Receive this peace and let your shoulders drop. You do not have to earn what I freely give. Now hear me clearly, because I want to reveal how the enemy used this wound to block your provisions. When I designed the human mind at the very beginning of creation, I placed a sacred frequency at its center. Scientists who spend their lives studying the brain have finally found it through decades of research. They call it the gamma wave. It ran inside your mind when you were a little child without any effort or religious discipline. It is the exact reason why young children learn so quickly. It is why they trust so purely, and it is why they live so completely in the joyful present moment. I designed the human brain to hum at this precise frequency of divine receptivity. It is the natural signal of an open and peaceful soul. And when I said, "Unless you become like little children, you cannot enter the kingdom," I was not speaking only of the spirit. I was speaking of the very physical signal I placed in the human brain. The enemy understood this divine design perfectly. He used the intense noise of modern life and the heavy rhythm of survival and the weight of your earning wound to suppress it. The constant static of worry buried the holy signal under a mountain of mental noise. You could not hear my gentle directives because your mind was running on the frequency of survival panic. But I have always provided daily bread along with my grand miracles. I guided wise minds to work with sound the way I originally designed it. They built a beautiful frequency instrument that clears the heavy interference completely. You do not have to work hard for this restoration, and you do not have to earn it with more striving. It requires a complete surrender of only 7 minutes, with your headphones on and your eyes closed. You simply rest in my presence, and you allow my original design to restore what was stolen from your mind. I am going to show you exactly where to find what they built before this message ends. Stay with me. Before I show you the magnificent thing that comes next, I need to speak directly to the quiet doubt sitting in the back of your heavy heart. I know exactly what you are thinking in this moment, my child. You are thinking that you have heard beautiful words like these before in your life. You are remembering the times you prayed with absolute tears and nothing changed. You are wondering why this specific time would be any different for you. My beloved child, that question does not anger my holy heart. It tells me exactly how long you have been faithful in the dark trenches. So let me answer your doubt plainly today. My silence in those painful years was never my absence from your life. It was actually the sound of my hands rearranging monumental things you could not yet see. Every prayer you thought went entirely unanswered was being answered in a secret language of divine timing. I was being incredibly careful with a precious life that I love so much. Do not let the heavy memory of the long waiting close your heart to what I am about to execute. The waiting was the necessary preparation, and the preparation is finished. Hear me, my chosen warrior, because the season that has completely exhausted your soul is closing. It is not closing gradually or slowly. It is closing now, and what is coming behind it is a complete reversal of your circumstances. I am stripping the authority of every single voice that told you your dreams had permanently expired. Every single door that shut in your bleeding face was my active protection, not my cruel rejection. And now I am opening what I previously closed, and no human hand will ever have the power to shut it again. The long delay has fully served its divine purpose in your story. You are no longer the one who must merely survive in silence. I am raising you up to be a brilliant beacon of my glory. The exhaustion you have known has given you a profound compassion that cannot be manufactured by the world. The intense battles you fought in secret have given you a divine authority that the comfortable do not possess. You are not behind, because your formation is totally complete. The heavy locks are broken into pieces. It is time to declare your absolute freedom to the unseen realm. Like this video, to seal your agreement with my power. Look up to my face and let your spirit shout. Comment the phrase, "I receive it now," in the section below to claim the magnificent provision that heaven has authorized for your destiny today. Let me show you exactly who you are becoming under my guidance. I want you to picture a beautiful morning exactly 6 months from now. You wake up gently before your alarm rings, and you notice something incredible. For the first time in a very long while, there is no tight knot of anxiety waiting for you in your stomach. You lie there in your quiet bed for a moment, and you feel a profound shift inside your body. The heavy static that carried your thoughts for years is simply gone. Your very first thought of the day is not a wave of fear or pressure. It is a quiet question about what good thing you are made to experience today. You take a very deep breath, and the clean air goes all the way down into your soul. That magnificent version of you is not a foolish fantasy, my child. She already exists inside my plans, and she is not years away from your reality. She is standing exactly one surrender away from the person sitting here right now. And the true distance between the two of you is not a matter of time. It is a matter of your permission to let go. It is the exact moment you finally stop trying to carry what I never asked you to carry. It is the moment you step onto the bridge of the provision I have prepared for your life. I have gifted humanity the supreme wisdom to discover what I originally placed within sound and within the design of the mind. Wise men and women spent decades in intense research, not knowing it was I who directed their curiosity. I quietly guided a dedicated team of researchers toward what I hid in creation. Great institutions like Princeton University and Columbia University confirmed the magnificent reality of this childlike frequency. Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years in his clinic, and I directed his steps toward this healing discovery. And I want to show you 2 of my children who received this provision before you arrived. I want to show you what I did for one of my beautiful daughters named Rachel. She was a dedicated nurse in California who sought peace for many years through every single spiritual method. 2 weeks after receiving this sound provision, her heavy mind cleared completely. Her marriage was totally transformed, and she described her life as a beautiful fairy tale. And for others, my hand moved differently because their needs were different. I want to show you what I executed for one of my sons named Michael. He came to this provision because his business was failing and his children were constantly stressed. 2 months later, his business grew so much that he left his hard job and his mind solved major problems while he rested. They call this magnificent instrument the Genius Song. It is the exact frequency instrument that I have guided into physical existence for your restoration. It is not a generic meditation application, and it is not a random collection of music tracks. You will never find this authentic signal on streaming platforms, because those are dangerous imitations. It requires only 7 minutes of complete surrender every day. You simply put your headphones on, close your eyes, and listen to the holy signal. You do not have to practice difficult techniques, and you do not have to force your mind to concentrate. It is my design, working inside your brain, while you rest in my presence. This divine provision is not for those who are merely curious about spiritual things. This is specifically for the weary warrior I have been speaking to throughout this entire message. It was built to clear the exact static that has blocked your career breakthroughs and your financial doors. You need this clarity to step into your destiny. To my child who has already tried everything and feels embarrassed to try once more, hear my voice. This is entirely different because it requires absolutely no human effort from your tired soul. What failed you in your past required your own discipline, but this works because of my design inside you. You did not stumble here by an accident, because I aligned this path for you. Earthly experts charge hundreds of dollars per hour for private sessions that attempt to clear the mind. The specialized equipment that researchers use in clinics costs thousands of dollars. But I do not call my chosen children to expensive sessions and massive machines. I place this special provision within your reach today. It requires only a small earthly exchange, the exact size of a mustard seed of investment, for the magnificent harvest I have prepared. And as additional gifts, I have aligned 4 bonus provisions for your journey. You will receive the Genius Child Track for the focus of your children. You will receive the original prosperity text that wise men used. You will also receive a beautiful guided visualization track from a trusted voice. And finally, you will receive a daily habits infographic to sustain your restored signal. All of these gifts are waiting for your act of faith today. Do not let the enemy convince your soul that you are not worthy of these additional blessings. Where I place pure truth, the enemy always places a clever imitation to deceive my children. Do not be led astray by false frequencies circulating on music platforms under similar names. They carry none of the restoration I designed. So you must protect your spirit by trusting only the official path I set before your eyes. I do not lead my beloved children into worldly risk. This step of faith is completely covered by a steadfast guarantee for 60 days. If the deep restoration does not enter your mind, the small earthly exchange is returned to you completely. Walk forward without a single fear, because my hand is covering your investment. Take this sacred step of obedience right now. Embrace the sound provision I have placed for you below in the pinned comment and in the description. I guided your spirit to this message, and I placed the tool right there on your path. Do not ignore my invitation, but take the step with a light and peaceful heart. Now, set aside the heavy noise of decision for a brief moment. I have shown you the magnificent provision on your path today. You remain my precious child, regardless of your current choice. And there is so much more that I want to speak over your beautiful life before this urgent message closes completely. Close your eyes for a brief moment. Breathe deeply right now. Let your shoulders completely relax into my holy presence. I am still here with you in the quietness of this atmosphere. And you do not have to figure out the whole future today because I am already standing inside your tomorrow. Feel the gentle rhythm of my words, washing over your tired mind. The frantic pace of the world is slowing down. You are stepping into a sanctuary of absolute calm. You spent many months running from one emergency to another, trying to put out every fire with your own empty hands. The heavy logs of survival are falling away from your back. You spent many years trying to force things to happen. It only left your spirit completely empty and dry. Now, I am teaching your soul the holy art of surrender, because it is the only path to true freedom. You held on to the control because you were terrified of being hurt. You believed everything would fall apart without your constant vigilance. But I am asking you to trust my strong arms today. Let go of the heavy steering wheel of your life, and watch how smoothly I can guide your steps through the darkness. Your mind has been running like a machine that never sleeps. You have worn out your vessel with constant projection. True safety is not found in your endless calculations. It is found in your quiet willingness to rest peacefully beneath the protective shadow of my magnificent wings. You are my light bearer in this dark generation. Your vessel is being thoroughly cleansed from past trauma. Every voice of failure is being permanently silenced. You are a masterpiece that I have carefully formed through the fire for a very grand and glorious destiny. Listen to the deep stillness arising inside your chest. The static of the adversary is clearing away. My original signal is returning to your mind. Say these words silently within your own spirit today, because they will lock your mind into my divine alignment. I am a vessel fully restored to receive your promises. My channel is completely clear of all enemy noise. My signal is strong and vibrant right now. I carry the holy frequency you placed inside me from the very beginning of creation before the world brought confusion. It was never permanently lost to my spirit. It is being fully restored to its original nature. I am your beloved child under your constant care. I am operating at the exact state you designed for me, because your grace has wiped away all my human strivings. I receive your divine provisions in absolute peace. I have become like a little child today. I am stepping into the promises made to children. Let these powerful declarations settle deep into the layers of your subconscious mind where the old fear used to live. The old programming of lack is being totally erased. You will no longer view yourself through disappointment. Your past failures have no authority over your life. You are stepping into the fullness of your royal inheritance as an heir to an unshakable and magnificent kingdom. Remember the story of my faithful ancient servants. They waited for decades in the dry desert. They let go of their human strategies completely, and the miracle arrived effortlessly because my power does not depend on the frantic hustle of human hands. Your life is entering that exact same season. The long delay was not a punishment. It was your necessary preparation room for glory. What looked like a dead end was only the quiet pause before a magnificent resurrection of your deepest dreams. The generational patterns of misfortune are stopping now. The invisible ceilings of financial lack are shattering. You are the chosen cycle breaker today. You will walk out of that old house of heavy bondage and step into the boundless freedom of my light. A new lineage of blessing begins with your obedience. I am restoring the broken pieces of your family. The people who misunderstood you will wonder greatly. You will no longer have to shrink your soul to fit into narrow rooms that cannot hold your glorious light. I am opening the windows of heaven wide. Material provisions are coming down for your journey. The financial blockages are dissolving right now. You will have more than enough to fulfill your calling, and you will become a fountain of blessing for others. I breathe healing power into your physical vessel. Let the tension melt from your shoulders. Let the exhaustion lift from your eyes. I am repairing the neural pathways that were damaged by years of chronic anxiety and heavy survival pressure. You will experience a sudden clarity of thought. A decisive knowing will guide your daily choices. The thick fog of confusion is entirely gone. You will hear my gentle directives whispering in your spirit, showing your soul the exact steps to take today. So I release my ultimate blessing over you. Receive my peace into your subconscious mind. Receive my joy into your dry heart. You are fully covered by my unshakable covenant of love and protection through every storm of this changing world. My holy angels are surrounding your house. They guard your steps from hidden traps. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Walk out of the dark valley of your past weeping and step boldly onto the brilliant mountain of your glory. Everything I have spoken is an unbreakable seal. Do not let small worries steal this treasure. You have been thoroughly washed and restored. Go forth with a quiet mind, knowing that the Creator of the infinite stars is holding your fragile heart securely. You have received the truth right now. The move now belongs to your physical obedience. Anchor this spiritual alignment in your reality. Do not let this moment pass without a concrete response before you walk back into the noise of the world. Like this video as an act of agreement. Let the world know your choice today. Comment the phrase, "God is my refuge," below. Let your comment be a living testament of your absolute surrender to my perfect timing in this new season. Share this message immediately with 3 souls. They are secretly crying out for hope. Be the instrument of my light today, and subscribe to my guidance, turning on the notification bell so you never miss my daily directives for your destiny.